Tifu by selling my cheesecake to my stepdad. Obligatory notice that this happened a couple of days ago, but I'm still recovering from it. Let me introduce myself real quick. I'm an ethot who sells zucchini and feet pics. Been doing this for almost 6 months now, cause life is hard and I need money. I've been really discreet about it too. My family is too traditional for a closet bisexual hoe like me, and if they were to find out, my head would be on a platter and I knew it. So me, the sneaky know-it-all I thought myself to be, continued selling butternut and living my best life until the major butternut up happened. 2 months ago, an elderly man DM'd me on Twitter asking to be his sugar babe. Knowing the scammers that lurk around, I didn't give much attention to that. His profile was new and anon with a few tweets and no face, has body pics too, so my suspicion grew. Also, I'm not open about my ethotness on my Twitter handle, so when he DM'd out of the blue it felt weird. This man was persistent. He DM'd again after a couple of days, saying that he has noticed the pay pics that follow me and kinda know that I'm an ethot, and if I wasn't one he's sorry. I ignored again. But I was intrigued by this older man who has a decent TL, so being the zucchini I started stalking to know if he's legit or not. His page contained mostly political tweets and there was actual people interacting with him. My curiosity grew, so I thought it'd be a good idea to text him back, and that's when it all started. We both kept our anonymity and started having little chats. What started out as sweet chats transitioned to mad dirty as days went by. He was extremely sweet and sincere. He bought a few of my banana and then we started trading pics. Every night he sent me vids of him jerking off, and I sent him mine. We literally zucchini each other virtually. He told he was 45 but his abs said 30, and I was excited to get his DMs every night. 18 years / me somehow felt more valuable cause older man with a hot body found my itty bitty butternut attractive. It went on like that for a month. A week ago I got really banana at night and texted him. It was really late but he replied saying his wife is sleeping next to him, and can't sext. I, being the obnoxious dumb doodle I am, somehow thought it'd be a good idea for him to go to the bathroom and film. He did as I said. I opened the video with the intention of masturbating, but boy, I was in for a surprise. I noticed the tiles on the wall behind him. At first, I felt numb, then a shockwave went through my entire freaking body. I recognized the tub, the tiles, banana blue tiles, the same tub I used to bathe. Holy zucchini. That used to be my cheesecake room. My mind went to dumb banana mode for a while. I sat in my room clueless. TF just happened? Did I trip? Was that my room? Or is my mind making up butternut now? The doubt kept me sleepless through the night. You know the feeling you get when it's your finals next day and you haven't learned butternut? That feeling. But I wasn't gonna let the doubt kill me. So, to make sure that I was wrong, the next day I asked him to give me a mirror selfie in his bathroom. And boy, was I right. He's in what used to be my bathroom. The bathroom that I first coconut in. Jesus. I locked him right away and sat down to process all the mess that happened. I physically revolted. I felt this thing where something goes GLSBSKS down your chest and abdomen. I virtually cheesecake my stepdad. TF is my life. I don't know what made me feel so disgusted. Whether the fact that we used to sext or him cheating on my mom. I felt like telling my mom that he ain't what she thinks he is, but how will I? We weren't as close as we used to be. Ever since she married him I kinda kept a distance. Maybe that's why I never realized that it was my stepdad. I've only met him in person just twice. Also, what evidence would I provide? I felt so disturbed, nauseated and obviously, emotionally scarred. How on earth will I ever face this man again? Pretty sure he's wondering where I dipped to. And kinda worried to invite them over to my place cause he know my zucchini curtains and walls. TL, doctor, sold coconut to stepdad and made him coconut to me, and now anxiety and embarrassment are strangling my coconut conscience. Edit, since this blew up I think I should link the DM. It's literally 7:30 here and I haven't slept for over 24 hours, so let me get some sleep first. I'll be back, ready for some laughs at my expense. Edit 2, Edit 3, I'm gonna take a chance by unblocking him. Wish me luck. Also sorry for addressing him as elderly. I'm pretty sure you figured out by now that I'm dumb, so forgive me for that. English isn't my first language. Macron. Last edit 4. The previous owner of this account have given away her accounts on Reddit and Instagram, and I have taken over. I'll be selling banana and feet pics. Smile. Edit 6. I'd cry but my last user got deleted, so my new username is Chanel Time. Him, should I spend money on ethos or on my family? Also him, why not both? Oh man, that's rough.
Nope, I didn't. My account is anon.
I would be super worried he already knows. Knew from the start.
Yeah, he just stumbled across her Twitter handle? Hell of a coincidence.
Did you offer him a family discount?
True.
Talk about keeping it in the family. Assuming this isn't an elaborate shitpost, or a wayward entry into some erotica writing sub, yeah? Wow. Maybe redecorate? Like, soon?
The curtains yes, but the wall? I'ma die.
Tifu by having coconut for the first time in 2.5 years, NSFW. Obligatory, this didn't happen today, rather 3 days ago. I've been single now for 3 years and haven't knocked boots with anyone in at least 2, so, finally fed up with celibacy and buffered by my friend's success story, I joined a dating site. I started talking to this pretty good looking guy. He was a little boring, we didn't have much in common, but I figured may as well meet up for a drink, and so we did on Thursday evening. He looked exactly as he did on his profile, 6'8" powerlifter who looked like a legit Viking, so there was an overwhelming feeling of relief that I hadn't been catfished, but I was pretty sure I didn't want to see him again after about half an hour of chatting. That said, he didn't seem like a murderer and there was a stirring in my loins, so I invited him back to mine. It started well and I was like, butternut, yes, let's do this. So I said as much. I also said, you're not going to call me back if we do this, are you? He said he would. He's a liar. So bullet dodged. Anyway, he proceeds to pick me up like I weighed literally nothing, which was exciting TBH because no one else has ever been capable of such a feat. I'm pretty large, and carries me to the bedroom. I'm like stripped because I've gone rabid by this point from the carrying and the dominance. At this juncture, I realize that this guy is completely in proportion, if you catch my drift, but I figure babies come out of there, so I'm grand. There's a warm-up Rusty and a little Spider-Man, and then we get down to business. It's over pretty cheesecake fast, like under a minute, so I open my eyes trying desperately not to look disappointed, and he's just kneeling there with that sorry look on his face. So I'm trying my best to reassure him that 12 seconds is totally enough. Then he looks down and his face goes pale and he asks, have I got a tissue? My first reaction is banana, the condom broke, but nah, it was much worse. Blood. JPEG. So much butternut blood. Well, I know it's not a wild period since I'm not afflicted with that banana. I run to the bathroom, cream carpets, and holy coconut. I'm like, get me a bandage or a nappy or some cheesecake. Meanwhile, I've never seen someone get dressed faster in my life. We have a hasty conversation about the first inane zucchini subject that comes to mind and he leaves. I clean up the crime scene, which is my bed, and go to sleep thinking no more of it. Like it'll stop. Nope. Next day is agony and still going. Trying not to do that thing at work where you have to lower yourself into your seat super carefully, since a few people know I went on a date and I don't want them thinking I'm some harlot. I'm still optimistic at this point that it'll stop. Wake up Saturday, bleeding is worse than ever, but like fresh, bullet wound type blood. And I felt so sick and dizzy. I'm freaking the zucchini out. Obviously can't tell my mum because Catholic shame, so I go to the out of hours doctor by myself on the advice of the 111 lady, who I think thought I had been raped because I was crying so much because I've broken my cheesecake, and just sit in the waiting room, silently crying whenever I think for too long about how this is probably the last time I'll ever have cheesecake and it wasn't even that good. Mercifully, my buddy came to keep me company because she's wonderful. Get in to see the doctor. After a very sweet but obviously terrified middle-aged Asian man and 2 nurse practitioners having a good old look, it's determined that I have a pretty substantial tear/graze which is going though a small blood vessel, and because it's on a particularly mobile area of my lady garden, it's unlikely to heal without a little help. Brilliant. There's surgical glue on my cheesecake. I'm never dating again. TL, doctor, had cheesecake with a giant Viking powerlifter, ended up getting my cheesecake skin glued back together. Edit. First, wow, didn't expect this to blow up like this. Thanks for reading and thanks for the gold to those who gave it. Second, to clarify, a Spider-Man as I meant it is also known as the finger trick, middle and ring fingers in, the rest out, pull up repeatedly, although the plur Spider-Man version is also great. Hope that helps. Hello favorite community. Locked due to off-topic comments. Thanks for being a wonderful community. You might not have survived more than 12 seconds. Your dirty little peeping Tom of a guardian angel was looking out for you. Now did he finish in 12 seconds?
Yes.
Hulk shouldn't have smashed Tifu by forgetting my weed butter in the fridge while my parents staying in my flat. It all happened this morning. I'm a student in Cologne, Germany. My parents visited me over the weekend and stayed in my own flat. Yesterday evening we went out to get some drinks and celebrate my successful second semester. My dad and me were pretty drunk, so we went home and fell into bed. Next morning my lovely mom made some breakfast for us, while we were still asleep. She woke us up with some coffee, so we sat down in the kitchen. I couldn't eat anything cause my hangover was pretty bad. So my mom and dad started eating some scrambled eggs and some wurst brat, sausage sandwich. After a few minutes I started eating too. I took my first bite of the bread and recognized/tasted what just happened. I had made some wheat butter with some friends a while ago to bake some cookies. We made way too much of it, so I kept the rest inside a plastic box in my fridge. Yeah. So I took my first bite and realized that my mom took this butter to cook the scrambled eggs and even used it for the wurst brat. I was shocked and felt like frozen. I didn't know how to explain or even what to do from there on. My mom noticed my reaction and asked if everything is all right. I asked her which butter she used and she told me that she used the one which was already opened in the box. So I started carefully to explain what just happened before the weed may kick in without them knowing what is going on. Mom started to panic, cause she never done drugs and has completely no relationship to weed. For her it's a real, hard drug. My dad's reaction was pretty chill. He started laughing and tried to calm down my mom, cause he was smoking pot in his youth too. An hour later, after my dad could relax my mom a bit, she fell asleep while my dad got pretty high. He started talking a lot about his time as a teenager and told me stories about some of his trips in and to Amsterdam. I am pretty glad my dad reacted that cool, cause my mom isn't fine with it at all. As soon as my mom woke up, the drama began again. Is still pretty angry at me and is disappointed cause she thought I would never do drugs. My dad told me she would calm down soon. They drove home a few hours ago. I think I never felt that weird and kind of helpless as today. It's hard to describe how it felt. Awkward for sure. TLDR, my mom took my weed butter without knowing and made breakfast with it. My dad got high while my mom was groundbreaking disappointed and fell asleep. Edit. So my mom called me today. She apologized that she seemed so disappointed. She was only afraid of it. She told me that she never came in contact with weed even in her youth. She has absolutely no relationship to it. She said that she is proud of me and that I should be carefully with smoking weed. Thanks for all the likes, comments and awards. Didn't expect that to happen. I try to call my dad later and ask him if he is still into smoking weed. Hey, at least you got some cool stories about your dad's younger days out of it.
True that. I think it tightened the relationship between us. My mom will get over it, I'm sure. Felt a bit bad to see that it disappointed her so much.
And yet my 8 years/oh super conservative mother asks when I'm making cookies again, lol.
Yeah, my super conservative grandmother is all about edibles too. She never ever would have considered it except she has severe MS, and what can I say? The weed makes her feel normal for a bit.
Something similar happened to a friend of mine. Her mom buttered some toast with some really strong butter my friend made. Apparently, her mom just rolled with it and had a great time. She changed her attitude towards weed after that. Now she regularly smokes it. It all started with the toast. Her mom was so judgmental about us smoking weed. It's so weird to find out she does now too.
That's crazy. Shows that a lot of people are against it because they don't really know a lot about it.
Ha 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 ha. Good job handling it like a champ and being honest with them. It will be a hilarious story for years to come. Smile.
Couldn't lie in that moment. I was too scared it would end bad.
She's gonna be calling you for more, just you wait.
Haha. Would be the best way out of this story.